first official strike spot. I am Pathfinder.
And I am Strike Fox. How y'all doing today, Commanders?
Wanted to give a quick overview of what that music was that you heard at the beginning and the stream starting soon. I want to give big kudos to Tommy Meehan from the band Guar. That is going to be a part of the Null Battle World boss music. So when you're in game, you should be able to hear that music as well.
For the iconic King in Black's theme, only another equally iconic Space King could do him justice.
Love it. Well, we have an exciting developer Q&A for you today, and we are super excited to be able to introduce you to Jose. Jose, why don't you give yourself a little bit of an introduction?
I know Jose.
What do you do on the team? How are you
I know
related
Jose.
to Battle World? And then we'll get started.
Hello, my name is Jose. I am UI manager on Strike Force. So that entails kind of overlooking the production of the UI for the feature, working with a team of talented designers to bring you what we're going to be showing you today.
Awesome. Love it. Well, we have an exciting show for you today. We're going to, like I said, we're going to go over a little bit of a presentation. Jose is going to talk through a bunch of different things regarding Battle World. And we're also going to have some Q&A afterwards. We asked the official Discord, as well as just the community in general, to ask us your burning questions about Battle World, and we have some of those to answer for you today. So I'm going to go ahead and switch up the scene here, and we're going to get started.
Let's get going.
Yeah, let's do it.
Jose,
All right,
I'll let you take it away. Here we go.
Are we on the null slide?
I've met Jose
We're
before.
going to show a little video.
He's
here.
pretty awesome.
Okay.
There we go.
Okay. Well, again, my name is Jose. I'm very excited to be here to talk to you guys today about Battle World. I was lucky enough to be involved in the feature from very, very early on. So I remember one of the very first things when I saw about Battle World was a concept using comic art that showed Asteroid M with some MSF strike, braid nodes on top, and very different than what we're showing today. And it's been cool to see the evolution to what we have. I will be talking about character, environments, and UI for the production of Battle World and how we got to the point that we are. So if we still hold on that null slide, please. What you're seeing before you is a turn sheet. It's usually a combination of back, side, and three-quarter views. This is enough for the modelers to take the concept from 2D and turn it into a 3D object. The three-quarter views is also meant to show a little bit of the character's personality. The turn sheet is also good for tech artists. They can use it to resolve any issues that may occur, such as skirts, capes, or shoulder armor that could clip when posing the character, or when tentacles attach. Fun fact, we have a tech artist that really likes tentacles and likes to put tentacles on things, so shout out to that guy, you know who we are. Small props are also included in the turn sheet, and sometimes they also have various views. Lastly, the turn sheet also has material callouts. Those are the two spheres that you see in between the character poses, and they're meant to, for the texturing, to show what kind of material it is. As an example, could be the type of fabric, whether it's a new or severely weathered type of fabric. If you don't mind going to the next slide, please. Similarly, like the last slide, sometimes characters or side characters or important props will get a turn sheet. This particular creature is one that needed to be animated, so a turn sheet was needed. Okay, let's go to the next slide. Now that the graphics update is complete, we can add new environments to our game. It's a lot easier than we can do it before. So let's take a look to see how this environment came into existence. Okay. Next slide, please. For almost all things art related, we tend to start out with some sketches. Here you can see some early concepts of the null-themed environment. These do a great job in setting the mood and establishing the shape language and starting to nail down some of the smaller details. Another key part in this process is taking flying characters into consideration. We want to make sure we design in a way where the characters aren't clipping the environment when they're flying around.
He said the new graphics meant we can get new environments. That's a big deal.
Concept that focuses on the
That's
smaller
a big
items that are found
deal.
in the environment.
Haven't had any other than Crucible.
Smaller props also help communicate the scale and the life within the environment. Next slide. And here is the turn sheet for Null's Throne. Next slide, please. And this is the final concept that you see. It's very close to what you see in game. Now we're going to move forward and talk a little bit about UI. What you see before you is an early concept of the home screen.
See, Magneto.
At this stage in the process, the idea is to establish the overall look and feel. For example, here we wanted to convey that you're viewing a holographic projection of the Battle World globe with some spatial UI showing the info on the boss. Then the rest of the UI on the side is populated with information that's relevant to the screen. Next slide, please. This is an early version of the Zone Select screen. Like in the last screen, we're trying to sell a concept. So we make temp
got Magneto up there.
Replaced. One of the things that took us many iterations was how to display the zones in their various states. Early on, we didn't know who the boss would be, so we used Magneto. The idea was to show a menacing character looming over the map. Next slide, please.
Oh, that's Null. Oh, there it is.
One thing we did different for Battle World was to break up the UI into spatial and flat UI. Spatial UI refers to the rendered holographic parts of the map that are rendered in 3D space and have a unique color palette that's different than the flat UI. We made sure to push the text.
It's their gains. Their gains are low.
Levels, extra line work, and then duplicating and reducing the opacity to mimic a holographic feel. Next slide, please. And here is an early version of the mission select screen, where the spatial UI was vastly different. The colors and text styling were not final, and we were still experimenting with how to display the boss on the map. Early in the process, missions were set up in a linear fashion, so we had concepted out a path, similarly to how we do in other places in the game. And that's all we have for behind the scenes today. Now let's take some questions.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Jose. Let's just kick this off. We have a full list of questions, and we're just gonna go back and forth. Just to give you an idea, not every question that was asked we were able to get all info for, and there were people who didn't want their name to be mentioned, which is totally fine. And so we're gonna go kind of back and forth. So we're gonna say who it was, and if it was anonymous, we'll just say it was anonymous, and then we'll ask the question, and Jose is gonna answer. So I'll kick us off here with the first question by KJ Nava. The question is, can more than one person attack the boss battle at a time, or will it be locked out, similar to how like fights in Raid or War work?
So yes, we can. We actually implemented new tech. So now multiple alliance mates can attack at once. When you return from the boss screen, you can see the damage done by each individual member through a leaderboard or a UI animation.
All right. Now I got question number 2. This was from, I believe it is Zastine. Oh, I wasn't supposed to say that. My bad. Anyway, Battle World rotation. So this mode will essentially be a 3-week cycle, 1 week long standard, next Spec Ops, next boss battle, or do these events run simultaneously?
So it's the latter. They run simultaneously. Battle World is a 6-day event, and each day you have a set of standard missions, Spec Ops that you complete. If you manage to get through them on the 6th day, you will battle the boss, in this case being Null.
Awesome. This next question is anonymous. What days is this going to run, and is there going to be any type of cooldown?
Yes, so the current time frame is Monday through Saturday. That gives you Sunday if you want to switch alliances, because there's a 24-hour period where once you join, you have to wait 24 hours before you can actually start participating in Battle World. So we took that in mind, so commanders can switch alliances as needed.
All right, and this next question is also anonymous. What extra ability levels do characters that don't, or what extra ability levels will we have for characters that don't naturally have them in the game?
So it's the same system as raids, so characters get boosted in the higher difficulties.
Yeah, and just so you're aware, you can see that when you're actually on the screen as well. Like you'll see, extra 25 levels or extra, ability levels or health or anything like that. It works the same way. Is what that was. Next question. Great name, Pivanator. In the How to Prepare for Battle World section of the Battle World announcement blog, it says that players will need a well-rounded roster and that there will be upcoming opportunities to power up Extreme, X-Men, Spider Society, Hive Mind, Alpha Flight, etc. Are these the only teams that will be usable in the initial version of Battle World?
No, actually, you'll be able to use a wide variety of characters in your roster. It will not be only those teams. We will have blog posts in the future explaining a bit more detail.
All right. This next question is from Flying Joker. If an alliance can't complete missions in a week or failed to unlock the boss battle for that wave in that week, will they remain stuck until the event as a whole is reset, or will the rave reset next week?
If you don't win, if you don't get enough VP to progress to the next zone, you stay there until you're ready. You stay there the next day, and you got a chance to try again. But I'll be answering a little bit more detail within the following question.
Awesome. This next one
Yes!
is from Father Squid. So while I'm sure that full alliances will have the most success with this node, how restrictive will Battle World be for the alliances that don't have a full roster? Is this something that they can complete? Can they reasonably expect decent rewards? Or will this force alliances to struggle and find a full roster?
Well, it's worth noting that advancing zones each day should be very possible with partial alliances. The expectation is that you don't need to clear all your mission waves or spec op missions in order to advance.
This next question is from DLH2108. What will the missions give us individually, if at all?
Missions will have a mix of different rewards, and it will scale with difficulty, and you also get VP. VP is important because that's how you unlock new zones, and it also gives you credits that you can spend in the store. Well, the credits are not part of VP. Sorry, I kind of worded that wrong, but you also get credits that you can spend in the store.
Next question is from CS or C squared. Apologies. All of these teams are unique with various abilities that only apply in raids or war, or will the raid and war bonuses be active during Battle World?
We would like you to want to play with the full power of your team. So at this moment, we're using combat mounts. Sometimes they're raid, sometimes it's war, sometimes it's CC. All of that information is shown in the mission. There's a little tab that shows combat mods, so be sure to check that out before starting a mission.
Raid bonus sometimes is the answer.
And this next one here is anonymous. Are the segments of Battle World timed, or theoretically, if waves and spec ops are finished early, can we start fighting the boss early, or are certain waves and the boss only available on specific days regardless of the pacing?
Battle World is broken up into 6 24-hour segments. You have 24 hours to get through a zone and advance to the next one. If your alliance fails to reach the required VP to unlock the next zone, you have to stay there till the following day. If you finish early, you still have to stay there until the following day, but you can keep trying to earn more VP. In the end of the day, more VP equals better rewards.
Awesome. The next question here is from Jedi John. Big question is, when does Battle World start?
My guy, that is the question we all want to know. The current plan is November, but it is subject to change.
There you go. November.
Super exciting and super excited for everyone to get their hands on it.
Me too, man. Can't wait.
This next question is from Mostef Isley. It appears
I like that guy.
Special ops may be similar to the platoon missions in Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes territory battles. If this is the case, will MSF publish the specific requirements for the special ops missions for each zone in advance of the launch of Battle World so that the Alliance captains can make appropriate assignments?
Okay, well, as of right now, we don't have any plans to post mission requirements in advance. However, we can bring this up to the team. I do understand, planning your
Nope.
roster upgrades, and so you want to see
Nope.
who you're going to upgrade. Well, we can't
No.
promise. We have another stream on the 30th, where we can try to release more information. When Battle World does go live, though, you can see the requirements of
I don't know
Spec
the
Ops by
date.
previewing it.
He doesn't either, actually. I don't think they know.
All right.
Awesome.
November, maybe.
Mad Hatter 0307. What's the estimated amount of time that will be spent on Battle World per day? And will there be any accommodations to the regular schedule of activities to compensate for that time?
We're currently exploring other options. Timing game is something that we analyze a lot and take very seriously. There has been no concrete decision made yet, but there are a couple options that we're exploring at the moment.
10 minutes, 20 minutes, 30 minutes, an
This
hour?
next
Give me some
question
answer.
is
Come on.
Anonymous. I assume the boss at least is going to have some extra gusto to make soloing near impossible at this time, but maybe the waves could be.
Okay, so this one. The boss is meant to be really challenging. We use some special mechanics to make them difficult. The boss battle, it has new combat wave mechanics, a little different than in other modes. The first challenge is to be able to defeat Null once, but Null revives infinitely. So the point is, alliances are going to compete over how much damage you can do, and that all goes towards the final day.
So essentially what you're saying is that the boss is going to be unkillable right now.
In a way, right? Like, it's not like there is a kill count in the boss, so you can show how many times you kill him, but when you kill him, the battle's not over. He'll revive, and then you're back into it again. So again, the point is to see how much damage you can do in that
So
mode.
it's scalable.
The top alliances are going
It'll
to
scale.
see who can kill the boss the most.
Yeah, it'll scale. That's what he's trying to say.
Awesome. The next question is from Areolith Lion. Will Null have a team associated with him, meaning an affiliate rework, or should we expect Null to be a little more standalone plug-and-play character?
The only thing we can answer at the moment about Null is that he should be a plug-and-play character, and he's going to fit into a variety of teams.
Very cool. This next question is anonymous. What are the requirements for difficulties? Will there be specific team requirements outside of one picture? How often? Will specific requirements rotate? And if so, how often?
Well, the node requirements to our regular missions, which are known as combat missions, aren't intended to change after Battle World goes live. Combat missions will only have trait requirements. We do plan on rotating Spec Ops periodically, and the elite missions are going to ask for very specific things.
Awesome. Next question here is from, I hope I pronounced this right.
Did he say they rotate?
Amosy. Will Battle World have a difficulty threshold to unlock increasing difficulty similar to Raid?
Okay. Battle World, it's going to work similar to Raids in the way that there are thresholds to progress to the next difficulty. But unlike Raids, you acquire VP points, and that's done through battling in various missions.
So you're gonna need VP points to advance to higher difficulties, right?
Kane. What are the requirements for placements on the special missions? Will it be specific characters, or placed by trait, or some other general categorization, such as level 75s, 7 stars?
The Spec Op nodes will have different requirements. It could be gear, it could be star level, it could be red stars, etc. And they will likely change periodically. There might be overlap between characters used in combat missions and Spec Ops, so make sure to check it out and plan ahead.
You're gonna need diamonds, 3 diamonds to use them in Spec Ops. I don't know.
Awesome.
But that's what they're saying is it's gonna change gear, stars, diamonds.
Will Battle World be a source
Spec
of
Ops.
getting dark promo credits?
Battle World will mainly be a source for purple ISO.
A 3 diamond juggernaut required.
Next, we have
Purple ISO.
Kneva. Will the enemy energy count that is currently seen on the Null boss battle concept fight be added to other modes for regular gameplay?
To be determined, but we will likely want to save this for special occasions. we do try our best to listen to feedback. So please, if it's something you like, please let us know.
Awesome. The next
Oh, I
question.
see Leo the Lion in chat, actually.
Nice. Next question here is from Commander Red Eye, and it's asking about the lore of Battle World. So the question is, will the storyline follow Marvel lore, or is this more of a different or divergent version?
The story falls in line within the Marvel Strike Force story.
Alrighty. This next question is anonymous. Do players have to progress through the same waves at the same time and wait in line to play like arena/war? Or is it like war where there are multiple waves to attack for multiple players at once? We can't just have two people attacking the same wave at the same time. Then you have to clear all available attack options to clear a wave in order to progress further. Or is it like Blitz in campaign?
You can see the
where
enemy
anyone can
cooldowns
attack
right
at
there at
will
the
as
top.
much as they want
It's pretty
or
cool.
are able to, and the total progression from each player is gathered and tallied together.
Okay, there's a lot of questions, my guy. Combat missions in each zone are not shared, so you can attack at your own pace. It's like actually you almost answered your question. It's like when you mentioned where the total progression for each player is gathered and then tallied together.
Yeah, and I guess to go a little bit further as well, similar to like war or raid, where an individual person is attacking an individual node, it's not reliant on you sitting there waiting for somebody to attack. You can attack, multiple people can attack at multiple, like in the zone, multiple people can attack at the same time, right?
Mm-hmm. But like I said, we implemented some new tech that we didn't have before, allowing multiple alliance mates to attack at the same time.
Next is KJ Nava. How does health redistribution abilities affect the boss paddle, similar to Apocalypse Empowered Basic or like Vol abilities like that?
Max health damage.
We'll bring that Minerva ult back. Unfortunately, not unfortunately, Null has a lot of new mechanics to prevent him from taking huge chunks of damage in a single hit. So that might not be the best strategy. TBD.
All right, I got another long one, a big one for you, Jose. Well,
Minerva
it
won't
seems
work.
like there's a cap on how much you can participate.
That's a damage
for the
cap.
Spec Ops passive part of Battle World. 10 characters per player. Is there a participation limit on the waves part too? Is it like war, where once you've used a team to attack, they are spent regardless of win or loss?
Yeah.
Or is it like Dark Dimension, where if you use a team to attack and they clear the wave and survive, can you continue to use members of that team again on additional waves? Can one extremely strong player solo all the waves if their team doesn't go down? And this was an anonymous question.
Okay, so each player has 3 attempts per mission to clear as many waves as possible. Each node has a slightly different requirement, so there should be little overlap. You can only use a character once per day, and combat missions are not shared between Alliance members.
Good to know.
Okay, another anonymous question, and it is asking, what is going to be in the Battle World store?
All right, you wanted to take this one, didn't you?
Yes. Stuff.
What?
Yes, there's going to be stuff. Expect to see new character shards and purple ISO.
Nice. Okay. Sorry, I had to. Next question is anonymous. What will the leaderboard rewards be? Will this change the leaderboard payout timeframes for war and raid? And will it evolve into a 3-week cycle?
Battleworld's going to have its own leaderboard and its own cycle, so it should not affect any of the other leaderboard cycles.
Awesome. Looks like we have a couple more questions here. So this one is from Tiger Martin 69. As there is no map, I presume it's going to be like War of the Whole Alliance has to take out rooms. We do actually have a map that you can see at least a brief view on the website. But Jose, I'll let you finish that out.
All right. Yeah. So we do have a map. The map is as follows: you enter a zone. Each zone consists of 4. You enter the zone, then you go. The zone has 4 missions. Between you and your alliance, you need to earn enough BP in the missions to advance. And individually, you have 3 attempts per node.
All right. And this will be the next to last question from Annieman85. Will there be reworks to an existing team or teams to make them Battle World meta like you did with Wakandans and the Crucible, for instance, Guardians of the Galaxy?
I will ask. If I can get a Guardians of the rework, I can't make any promises. I do get you, though. Star-Lord was my first legendary, so I would love to see that team shine again.
No answer.
And our last question is actually a question for you guys, and it's a bit of a pop quiz from the beginning of our stream. So what is another name that Null is known by?
King of something.
And you can go ahead and answer in chat.
King in Black. There it is.
All right. It looks like Gideon XXL has answered the King in Black. Well, congratulations. That is your promo code. Go ahead and enter it on marvelstrikeforce.com.
All right, let's do that. marvelstrikeforce.com.
Awesome. Well, Jose, thank you so much for kicking us off the first official strike spot. Thank you so much for being here and answering all of those questions, giving that presentation. Gotta say, the artwork is just so cool to see kind of the early concepts and see a lot.
Oh,
of
that's
the
not
work
terrible.
That goes into this. Also seeing how UI plays a huge role in making sure that people understand. So we appreciate everything that you have done with that.
Well, I mean, thank you from the bottom of my heart. I really, really love this game, and I'm super excited and super proud of what we're putting out there. I can't wait for you guys to play it. I can't wait to play it myself. So yeah, I can't wait. Let's wait. Stay tuned for more.
So there's the promo code right there, King in Black.
Well, I believe that is everything that we have for you today, but we will have another stream coming, as we said, at the end of the month. So please look forward to that and stay tuned for more. For today, this has been Strike Fox.
And Pathfinder.
And Jose!
Bye, y'all.
I like that
Actually, I hate to spoil this, but we do have actually one more thing that we're going to show you before we're going to get off. So one more thing.
All right. We're going to mute that just in case it's copyrighted music. I think they're going to be using Gwar for that, but let's take a look at what this is. Thanks for watching. Okay. Yeah, they said there's going to be Gwar, like heavy metal music, or the guy from Gwar. Gwar, Gwar, is that correct? That's what I heard earlier. And so that will do it for today. The only thing, so I guess the biggest part in this for me was King in Black, get a code for that kind of stuff. They said November, non-committal. The rewards are going to be mostly purple ISO. The graphics update, which has been very controversial, is the reason why gives him the ability to do new environments. So we've had no new environments other than I think Crucible since the start of the game. We've been stuck with the butterflies and the deer and the snake. And so hopefully with this graphics update, we'll start getting new environments. Initial boss on Battle World was Magneto. Multiple people can attack Null at the same time. Also worth noting is that once you kill Null, he revives. And so you can kill multiple times. So it scales and there is a kill count. It's going to be a 6-day event starting on Monday. It'll end on Saturday. That way you can do your Alliance War transfers on Sunday. There are going to be boosted characters. All of that's going to be in the UI. He even mentioned something about potentially like raid bonuses, Crucible bonuses, so on, but that would all be in the UI and might change. He talked briefly about a wide use of teens. They will reset weekly. So like, if you go in and your alliance is going to have VP points to go to 2, then you can go to 2, then you can use day 2 to go to 2, but then you're not going to make it to the boss, and the progress towards that will reset once the week. So each day you're going to need to get a certain amount of VP points to move to the next part. And then if you have enough V points every day, you'll get to the boss, Null. And if you get enough VP points early, you can't really move forward until the 24 hours. So it's 24-hour segments. He did mention that a partial alliance may make it to the end. Something to do with the VP, which is the void points that give credit for to move to the next area. Said something to the effect that there's going to give you progress towards the store, and there's going to be a Battle World store. They mentioned that the Battle World store would have purple ISO and potentially character shards. Win November. Mostif Isley asked a question about Spec Ops. So Spec Ops is like platoons in Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes, where you can only use a character once per day, and Spec Ops is an area, and so sometimes you send a character off and then you can't use them in the challenge missions. So the question is, there going to be a listing of the Spec Op characters? And the answer was no. But they also mentioned that the Spec Ops will have certain potentially gear or star requirements. So I sarcastically said, oh, they're going to require a 3-diamond juggernaut. I don't know what it's going to be, but I'm sure it's going to change over time. How much time is this game mode going to take? No answer. He said the boss is going to be hard and there's going to be new combat mechanics. Even the picture for Null on the website was interesting. There was a question about this UI with cooldowns. That's super awesome. I wish we could get that elsewhere. I think that'd be super useful. We could see that in battles. Will Null have a team? They said it was going to be plug and play. Combat missions, something about rotation. Battle World, similar to raids. Progress, like in difficulties, but that is through the VP process. Difficulty 1, 2. There's a picture of that actually on the site right here. They mentioned something. I may have to go back and watch it, but it looks like it had something to do. Yeah, there's the VP. Reach certain amount of points to get that. This is a very important question right here. Combat nodes are not shared. VP points don't have. You basically are able to go into the challenge nodes by yourself, and the amount of you get VP points, right? And it's not going to be dependent on whether people do. You have to do your part, like it's individual. Max health damage. So we're talking about characters like Minerva, Dark Phoenix, the super basic on Apocalypse. Apparently, they have made changes to Null's kit in some sort of abilities where they are not going to be crazy amounts of damage. Because you see here, what is that? 500 million health. Well, if you could take out 60% of that with one APOC super punch, right? Because his super punch, his super basic does 60% max health. That's just not going to work. They didn't explain how or why it wasn't going to work, but they implied that Minerva was not going to work at all. There's going to be a leaderboard. It's going to be on its own cycle, not tied to raids. And the other one, I guess, there's a map. And they say they're going to be reworks for existing teams to do better inside a Black World, and there was no answer. So I hope you found this information helpful. Again, the code is King in Black, and you will get some purple ISO. Bye for now.